Welcome to another live video. What an introduction, right? Imagine you have no idea who I am, you just arrive on the channel, it's like, welcome to the live video. In this video, we're gonna dive deep on how to stop being shy and introverted. And this isn't going to be some watered down advice where it's, you know what, you just have to realize that you can be more than that, right? Just be yourself and lean into your comfort zone, right? None of that. And it's also not going to be the type of advice that says, you know, how to make being introverted work for you. Screw that. What we're going to talk about here is how to drop this for good. And yes, it is possible. You might read the title and think, Ex-Introvert, what? With the ho. And the answer is yes. Okay, I used to be extremely introverted. If I, the old me, right, shy and just cowering in my bedroom, would see this live stream and I would see this current version of me, I would be baffled. I'd be like, how is that not possible? Boom. Like, I'd probably die. That's what would happen. Okay, I used to be extremely shy, extremely introverted, most likely more than you are right now. And look at me now. So in this live, we're going to dive right into how you can do the same. And yes, this is live. Someone's like, nice stash. Yes. Well, I know. Thank you. I know there's a couple orders of business here too that I want to address before going deeper. Number one, I hope you appreciate it, right? Did it for you. And number two, I do feel, now that we're getting this groove on with the lives, now that there are also some regulars who jump on, who have the notifications on, if you're watching this, make sure to subscribe and hit the notifications so you know when I'm going live. But I feel like we really gotta, you could say, solidify what we got going here, solidify our crew, right? If you look in the self-help world, the business world, everyone got a crew. Right? Like, you know, Grant Cardone, it's like the 10X crew. Are you a 10Xer or are you a 1Xer? I feel like we need something like that. And you can let me know in the comments if you got any suggestions, okay? But one that I think I'll just throw out there and let me know your thoughts on this. I was thinking the Horde. Now, you're probably like, whoa, right? Like, yeah. Julien and the Horde, right? Oh, are you part of the Horde? Like, I feel like it would catch on. I feel like it's very different. I feel like it would stand out. It kind of reminds me of, if you ever watch, like, you know, like those, what is it, like an orc horde, like Warcraft stuff. Like, I feel like that could be cool. But again, I'm just a guy with a mustache, so I don't know if my opinion on cool names or cool decisions are something that everyone's on the same page as. So let me know, right? Is the Horde, is it a yay or nay? And if it's not the Horde, what do you suggest? But I feel like we do need something. We got to take it to the next level. Someone's like, give me that French accent. You want me to speak with the French accent? Oui, yes, I can do that too. You know, it's quite interesting is I can do the French accent speaking English. But I can also do the English accent speaking French. That is true. I can do an accent in both. So there you go. Okay. Thanks for notifications. I'm here. Amazing. Make sure you hit the notifications. You want to be part of the Horde? You got to click the notifications. Otherwise, you ain't. Let's see. Just reading through some of the chats and we're going right in. Hi from Italy. Oh, hello. We're in Italy. I've been to Roma, Milano, and a small town actually 2 hours south of Rome called Orvieto. Orvieta? One of those. It's like a 2-hour train ride south of Rome. Amazing. Maybe shy nerds. Yeah, but is that empowering? It's like, oh, it's Julien and the shy nerds versus it's Julien and the Horde, right? I want something empowering. I want something empowering, but also like, you know, like, whoa, like, let's not mess with the Horde, right? Do we want to mess with the shy nerds? What are they going to do? Do we want to mess with the Horde? I don't know. Okay, so let's get into this, okay? How to break out of this shy and introverted trap. And I'll start with sharing a little bit about, you know, my story. And I really want to go into detail as to what it was like because, you might have just found out about this channel, this live, in which case, welcome. You might have been following me for some while, but chances are, you've only seen me or discovered me after I've put in years and years and years of work on myself. Okay, I found out about this whole self-help community back in 2006, and from then, right, so 15 years now, just been working on myself non-stop. Okay, so who was I prior to 2006? I was someone, most likely, and I'm going to say it straight up, I was most likely a lot shyer and more introverted than you watching this here. Okay, I am someone who's extremely analytical. If you're familiar with the whole personality types, I'm an INTJ by default. Okay, and my whole backstory is I was so shy, so introverted that I clammed up around family members. Right? People look forward to, holiday get-togethers, like, oh, you're a kid growing up. It's like the grandparents, the cousins, the uncles, the aunts, great, this is gonna be awesome. People look forward to that, right? It's like, oh, the holidays, yes. For me, holidays were, oh no, how am I gonna battle through this? Like for me, that was a challenge. That was like the great battle, right? It's like, holidays are coming. They're gonna ask you, how you doing? You're gonna have to talk in front of all these people. Brace yourself. That's how shy I was, okay? It was so extreme to the point where I couldn't, even ask a stranger for the time. Even as a kid, if I went to the restaurant with, say, my family, my parents, I remember this vividly, by the way. If I wanted, this is in Europe, right? They give you tap water, and it's actually very healthy tap water, especially Swiss tap water. But as a kid, it's like, oh, water. And they'd bring you a carafe, and you'd finish it, and then you'd ask for more. I couldn't. I would literally ration my water because I was too scared to ask the person working at the restaurant for more water. I couldn't be like, excuse me, could I have another carafe, please? Couldn't do it. It was terrible. Okay, even my first efforts to try to go make some small talk, I would script out what I would say. I remember I'm like, you know what? Maybe if you just go down to, there's like this kiosk in the city near where I lived. I'm like, just go down to the kiosk, maybe buy a newspaper and or even some chewing gum or something, and just tell the lady. It's this old lady everyone knows. Just ask her, hey, nice weather, isn't it? Just say that. Just tell her, nice weather, isn't it? And I couldn't. I literally scripted it out. I'm like, first you're gonna say this, then you're gonna grab it, and then you're gonna drop the line, nice weather, isn't it? Couldn't do it. I did buy the newspaper. That was as far out of my comfort zone that I could go, but it just really stopped there. Okay, if I were to find out back then about, you could say, a seminar or a live event, I would be too scared to show up, right? And if I did show up, I'd be hiding in the back, and if there was any kind of, let's start participating, I'd clam up, way too shy, way too scared. It was honestly terrible, okay? Even if, as an example, someone were to offer me a free coaching call, which you can see the link right here, Julien Mentoring, you can actually book a free coaching call and get a free letting go meditation. Me back in the day, too scared to do it. I would see this, I would see the opportunity, I would know it would help me, and I'd be like, way too scary, way too scary. I'd rather just consume content with the defense of hiding behind my screen, hiding behind my computer screen, hiding behind my phone screen, because I'd be too scared to just jump at that opportunity. Too scared of the potential awkwardness that may happen if I talk to a real person on the phone, right? What are they gonna think of me? Oh my God, this is so awkward. Introvert, shy, clam up, done. Okay, so that was me. Now, and by the way, Julien Mentoring, or link below this video, get your free call. If you don't, you're insane, okay? Now, one thing that I had going for me, and this is crucial if you're introverted, is that I did not let, and I'll say it again, I did not let this shy and introverted label define me and confine me. I'll say it again, I did not let this shy and introverted label, even though I'm like, well, I'm just shy and introverted, I didn't let it define me or confine me. And this is the big trap that everyone falls into nowadays, right? They're like, well, I'm shy, I'm introverted. I even did these personality tests, right? I did the Myers-Briggs. Look, Jordan Peterson also has a personality test. Let me do that one. Oh, and there's this thing called DISC. Let me do that personality test. And people are doing all these tests, and they're using this information to define themselves and confine themselves, where they, get the result, right? The results spit out. It's like, well, you, my friend, are introverted. You are very introverted, and you don't do well in social situations. You don't do well when it comes to self-expression. This is you. And what do they do? They're like, oh, thank you, personality test. And they let that become them and confine them, to the point where now they take that on as part of their identity. I'm introverted. I'm shy, right? That's what the personality test told me. So, it is what it is. And then they operate through that, where say they go look up some advice online, they're going to filter it through, okay, I get that advice, but how does it apply to an introvert like me, right? What about an introvert like me? What do I do? Oh, okay, I get the how-to there, but is there anything different when it comes to people who are introverted, right? And what happens there, the more they do this, the more it reinforces, I am an introvert, and the more they stay trapped. One thing I did, and I was very fortunate I did that, is I didn't let it define me. I didn't let it confine me. I was like, okay, in this moment right now, I'm very shy. I'm introverted. Do the personality test. You, sir, are an INTJ. Okay, I'm an INTJ. Great. Valuable data. But I'm not going to let this become me. I refuse to let this become me. Because here's the thing too, and you could say, well, aren't you then faking it, right? Isn't the response that the personality test give you the ultimate response? If the personality test says you're an introvert and you start acting like a non-introvert, you're faking it. Ah. And here's my question for you. What if who you are here today, the introverted, shy you here today, what if that is fake? What if by default, you're chill, expressive, at ease, and through different experiences, life experiences, conditioning, you've clammed up and put on this shell, this shy, stifled, introverted shell, and you've been living in this shell for so long that you've convinced yourself, this is me. This is huge, by the way. You hear this saying, fake it till you make it. Well, if I'm introverted, I better fake being extroverted. No. Here's what I say. It's not fake it till you make it. It's act real until you remember. Act real until you remember. Meaning, right now, who you think you are, what if that's faking it? What if the introverted you hear is faking it? That's being fake. And you're going to have to act real, which sure isn't going to feel very comfortable. It's going to stretch your comfort zone until you remember, hey, this shy little shell, maybe that isn't me. Now, granted, I do want to mention here, you could go a lot deeper and say, okay, but there is, some difference between, an extrovert and an introvert, and that's true, right? Maybe. No, I mean, there's definitely some traits, right? Like even myself, I definitely recharge when I'm alone versus around people, for the most part. Not always, but for the most part. There's still some tendencies here and there, but they're very minor. Why? Because I refuse to believe that, you were, say, put on this earth, this thing in life, right? And, it's like, you are going to be the shy, introverted, stifled person. That's your destiny. I refuse to believe that that's my destiny or anyone's destiny. I truly believe, and look at children, right? Do they all shy and clammed up? Like, okay, some, but for the most part, they're very free. They're very expressive, right? They haven't gone through all those experiences that get us to clam up. So, sure, you might notice, right now, I'm an introvert, I'm shy, okay, but maybe this shy, introverted version of myself isn't the real me. And instead of doubling down on it and trying to make it work, like, well, what are some good jobs for an introvert, shy person? Hey, let's break this. Let's break this illusion. Let's act real until I remember that, hey, there's more to me than this. Okay? So that here is the first key thing to let land. Don't let it define you. Do not let it confine you. Now, I'm checking over to the comments here, seeing what the horde is up to. It does sound a little weird to say, but, maybe it'll catch on. Someone's like, how to act real. We're going to get to it. Basically, it's act, it's the same thing as like fake it till you make it, except it's acting real until you remember what that feels like. So act like an extrovert. And don't tell yourself, that's not me. That's not me. Are you then saying that the shy, introverted, clammy, stifled person, that's you? No, screw that. Don't let that be you. You choose. You really have the choice. Okay, now, sure, maybe someone on this stream's like, well, that is me. Let me be the little clammy person. Great. But get off this video then. If you want to keep being the little introverted person, don't watch a video like this. Let's see, someone's like, evening. Well, welcome. Labels are toxic. Yeah, agreed. Hey, I heard you like the TV show Nathan For You. Awesome. I do love that show. I absolutely love it. Genius show. Let's see here. I'm scrolling through. Rocking the Super Mario mustache. I know, right? It was March 10th. You gots to. Late night here from Kyiv. Yeah, thanks for jumping on. Learned so much from you. Awesome. Hi from Amsterdam. Why, hello. Do you collect Dragon Ball Super cards? No, I do not. I actually never watched. This is crazy. Like I've even used like some Dragon Ball Z references in some content, but I've actually never watched it, and I have no idea about Dragon Ball Z. I know, okay, some of the characters. I know the Kamehameha, and that's it. COVID cough. Just kidding. Okay, so let's keep going. Okay, step 1: don't let this confine or define you. This also means go against the traditional route where you do this personality test, you're like, that's me. Okay, the way I personally go about it, because I do love, let me be clear, I do love personality tests. I recommend a lot of my clients to actually take a personality test. However, here's the difference. When you do a personality test, you have the choice. You get the result. Mistake that people make is, this is now me. The way I view it is, oh, here are the aspects that are acceptable to me, that I've deemed are acceptable, and it can show you, you could say, the counterparts that you've labeled as unacceptable. Okay, this comes down to the way that we're conditioned, right? You come into this world, as I said, you're free, you're expressive, you're like, authentic, and then a few things happen, right? You experience trauma. Every single human experiences trauma, right? You are dependent also as a child on whoever is raising you, your parents, whoever that is. And you also have a very limited perception. Now, here's what happens, right? Your parents are going to try to teach you, or again, whoever is raising you, your primary caregiver, they're going to try to teach you the way, right? Here's this thing called the world, here's society, these are the rules, etc., etc. And the way that we're taught this is through punishment and reward, right? If you're a good child, you're rewarded. If you're naughty, you're punished. That's the way things are currently working, right? That's how it is. Now, say you're punished for being loud. As a kid, very limited perception, you could interpret that as, in this moment, I'm not loved. If your parent's like, hey, don't be too loud. In this moment, my parent does not love me. If they don't love me, they could abandon me. If they abandon me, I die. Right? Not true, but very limited perception. Now, you start thinking, wow, if I keep being loud and they keep not loving me, my chances of dying are going up. So your survival instinct kicks in. Your life is at risk, so you think. Trauma, okay, that's an example of trauma. And what you're going to do is you're going to take that aspect, the loud part of you, and you're going to disown it. You're going to say, ooh, this is not acceptable. This threatens my existence. Nope. And you're going to just stuff it down and say, that's not me, that's not me, that's not me. And then you're going to keep living your life this way. And there are going to be layers and layers and layers of resistance to ever embodying that aspect of you again, because you told yourself, if I embody that, if I'm loud, if I'm expressive, I die. It's not true, but that's a link that you made. So we all have this. We create this split. There's parts of yourself that you're like, well, if I embody these aspects of myself, that's the acceptable me. That's when I receive approval. It's the good little boy Julien version. Like, yes, that's me. And then we all have this dark side, if you will, this unacceptable side of things that we disowned. We have this split. Now, when you do a personality test, what does it show you? It shows you the acceptable side. So if you're not sure, like, what are some things I might have disowned? You can do a test and it'll say, if this is the acceptable side, what's the opposite of my result? And that is the side that you're going to have to re-own. Okay, and this happens, by the way, to introverts, but also extroverts, right? Where an introvert could, again, have in the acceptable side, like only be quiet, only, never speak up, be very stifled, etc., etc. The extrovert is only speak up all the time, never be quiet. Both have a form of attachment and resistance, acceptable, unacceptable. What you want to do is re-own everything that is you so you can be both. At times, you know what? You can choose to be chill and quiet. And then at times you can choose to be loud and expressive. But it's not this ongoing condition of always this because you're resisting the other. Okay? So that is how I personally go about personality tests. I get the result, look at the opposite, and then I let go of the resistance around embodying the opposite, around re-owning all those aspects that I previously disowned. And if you'd like to learn how, it's very easy. Just go to JulienMentoring.com. You can click the link below this video as well. You can book a free coaching call. It's a free coaching session, literally completely free. You also get a free guided meditation, and we can go really deep in terms of, okay, what's going on? What are the aspects are acceptable? What aren't acceptable? Come up with a game plan and really get you moving on the right path. Okay, just go there right now, fill out an application, book a free coaching session. Now, someone's like, ENTP. Awesome. Yeah. If you've never done a personality test, definitely do it. And answer honestly too, right? People are like, answer honestly, get the real result. But once more, with that result, don't let that become you. It's simply valuable information to then re-own the opposite. Okay? Now, from there, okay, going a little deeper. You get the gist of it. Strategy number one that introverts then take, right? So you might be in that spot where you're like, you know what, I get it. I don't want to let this confine me. I don't want to let this define me, so on and so forth. I'm going to take action to snap out of it. And traditional mainstream advice says this, are you introverted? Are you shy? You better toughen up. You better put yourself out there in social situations. Get used to being in social situations. Desensitize yourself to social situations and start just being louder and force yourself to be louder. That's what society says. It's this route of progressive desensitization. It's just force it. And this here, will you get some results? Of course. It's a lot better than just remaining the shy introverted person in your room doing nothing. However, it doesn't get to the cause. And if you go too far down that route, it actually becomes an obstacle. Okay, so let me explain. Progressive desensitization simply means if you're introverted, all right, if you start forcing yourself to go out in, say, social situations, to talk to more people, to be more expressive, you can desensitize yourself to those types of environments, right? If you're like, it's too many people, if you just keep going in those environments, you're going to slowly start desensitizing yourself and getting used to it, right? Feeling a little bit more comfortable in those environments. So it does work to a certain extent, but here's the problem. It doesn't get to the cause, and it's not permanent. Meaning, as soon as you stop desensitizing yourself, what happens? You revert back, right? People do all these social anxiety challenges, for example, and they're like, look, now I'm a lot more comfortable being myself and being expressive in public. But then as soon as they stop doing the social anxiety challenges, right back down to shy, stifled little me, right? So it only works as long as you keep doing those challenges. And if you simply sit down and logically look at, okay, I'm alive from now till the day I die, Is this really the strategy that I want to take? Do I want to be the 8-year-old person who's like, oh, you know what? Sorry, grandkids, do my social anxiety challenges? No, that's terrible, right? It's like, every day, got to do my social anxiety challenges. What? No. Okay, so it's not the strategy that I would suggest going with. Here's the way that I personally go about it. And it still involves, by the way, social anxiety challenges, but the approach, just like the personality test, is very different. Meaning, you can do a social anxiety challenge. You can put yourself in one of those situations. However, instead of doing it to numb yourself to it, you do it to trigger yourself so that you can then let go of whatever is triggered. Get it? So say we go to that example, right? Can't be loud, and you disown that aspect. Now you go out and you do a social anxiety challenge, and you make yourself, be loud, right? Act real till you remember. When you do that, you're going to experience so much resistance within. You're going to be what we call triggered, right? Oh my God, like trying to be loud, and every part of you is going to cringe and fight against it. Now, right? Desensitization means get used to that and stuff it back down, be numb to it. No. Instead, do that to get triggered, and then with all those sensations, you can let go of it. So it's very different. One approach is I do actions to desensitize myself. The other is I do it to actually resensitize myself and let go, to dissolve that split. Okay, you can write this down, by the way. Action, trigger, release, repeat. This is a process that I teach my mentoring clients. Okay, action, trigger, release, repeat. You take action, it triggers something that you've been resisting, right? Comes a little closer into your awareness. You release it, and then you repeat. Action, trigger, release, repeat. That is the way. Okay, now I mentioned here too that if you go too far down the desensitization route, what happens, it can actually be an obstacle. And this is crucial. Okay, I've seen it where some people are so used to going out and desensitizing themselves that when they go do one of these action, trigger, release, repeat challenges, so to say, instead of actually getting triggered, they go back into that numb state. Okay, you can think of progressive desensitization as you going into this numbness, like this, you create this armored you, this very numb, armored version of yourself, and you just kind of lock into that mode, right? It's like going to your happy place, if you will. It's like, oh, I'm nervous, let's go to my happy place, and then you just kind of operate from there. So what you're gonna have to do, if that's you, and you're like, well, I don't get triggered because I'm just so used to going to my happy place, is when you start doing these challenges again the right way, you will have to resist that urge to go into your happy place and reconnect with the version of you that you were before desensitizing yourself. Reconnect with the old you, the really scared you, so you get triggered and you can then let go of it. So it can be an obstacle if you do too much of it. Okay? But this is really how you break free for good. It's not forcing yourself, desensitizing yourself, it's understanding why, right? There's an acceptable me and unacceptable me. Who I am here today isn't necessarily the real me. It's just a version of myself that I've been embodying for so long. I've convinced myself it's me. And instead of trying to fight against it, let's dive into all those things that I've been disowning and let's re-own them. This is done through letting go, and to facilitate the process, action, trigger, release, repeat. Act real until you remember. Okay? This is really how you break free for good. And once more, it's possible. And you gotta remind yourself it is possible. Okay, as I said, the old version of myself, super shy, introverted, if I met me here today, I'd faint, I'd die, I'd be so baffled my head would explode. But it is possible. Okay, I really wish, by the way, I had way more footage or proof of what I was like before this. Just like so shy. I have some photos, but I'll have to dig into that. But yeah, it's just night and day. So I used to be, okay, God's honest truth, way worse than the majority of clients that I work with. I was one of those hard case newbies. So use that as some inspiration as well. Mustache game strong today. Thank you. Scrolling through the chat here, action, trigger, release, repeat. Yes, that is a go-to one, right? Action, trigger, release, repeat. Action, trigger, release, repeat. And once more, you're triggering yourself to let go, not to desensitize yourself and stuff down. Huge. Okay, I'll do another live, by the way, talking about how we handle with, what we feel inside. A lot of people try to avoid, they try to express, they try to escape, they try to numb, right? Desensitize yourself instead of actually letting go and embracing and feeling unconditionally. Let's see. I remember your videos from when you first uploaded. You have improved tremendously. Thank you. Thanks. I know, I'm going to pull up some of those videos. I might show them. Yeah, we'll do that. I'll show them on an upcoming live. I want to take these lives, just like I joked around in the beginning. I'm like, we need a name, the Horde. I also want to take these live to another level and, do some like overlays or, green screen background stuff. So this is really just the beginning. Like, we're going to look back, you and me, at these lives here a year, 2, 3, 4, 5 from now, and we'd be like, whoa, is that? Like the humble beginnings, right? So just as this comment here, I do have some old video blog footage, right, when I first started trying to speak in front of a camera, and it was just terrible. Now note that that time, right, when I was trying to do those videos, that was after a few years of massive work. Meaning, I was way worse than that. What you're seeing there, if you thought that was bad, for me, that was the top of the mountain back then. I was way worse than that. But I will pull those up. Yeah. For me to speak in front of a camera like this took a long time, a very long time. I actually had to practice every single day, right? That was one of the little tricks that I did back then. I could do okay in front of a crowd, but I'd still get very shy, very stifled. I could do pretty well if it's like a few clients in person, but if you put a camera in front of me and it's like, okay, talk, I'd clam up. It was terrible. So what I did is, among many things, every single day I'd pull out, my phone or a camera or something and just be like, 5-minute video blog about a certain object. So I'd pick an object. I'm like, okay, today we're going to talk about a memory card. Okay, so hey, this is Julian, and in this video we're going to talk about a memory card. Do you know that there are actually different sizes in terms of storage space when it comes to a memory card? Blah, 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 and just like talk 5 minutes as if it's going online. Then I'd watch it, right, get a feel for it. Oh, I'd do that differently. Oh, interesting. And then delete it and wash, rinse, repeat every single day because I was that bad at speaking in front of a camera. Like even for a 3-minute video, there was one in Hawaii. It was a Makapu Beach. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. It was a 3-minute video. I'm just sitting there over these cliffs, and there's the ocean behind. And no joke, it probably took close to an hour just to get that 3-minute of content. That's how bad it was. So use that as inspiration, but also huge. There is still a lot of work to go into it. It's not magic. So don't look for magic pill stuff either, where it's like, I can just skip ahead. It's like, you're still going to have to go through the experiences. You can drastically cut your learning curve by taking this approach, right? Letting these mental seeds, be planted in your mind and learn how to let go, but it is still a journey, okay? And once more, if you'd like to learn how to let go and really cut this learning curve, just go to JulienMentoring.com. Okay, you can book a free coaching call. Highly urge you to do this. Click on the link below this video or go to JulienMentoring.com. You get a free coaching session and a free letting go meditation MP3 that you can listen to that will help tremendously. Right? If you're like, well, how do I do this? Action, trigger, release, repeat. Like when I'm triggered, how do I let go? Go book the call and get the free MP3 that you can listen to and let go. Right? You can go out, get triggered, and then literally just be like, go into the bathroom, pop into the bathroom, pop on the MP3, and let go. If you do this, action, trigger, release, repeat, you will be unstoppable. Okay? You might also be known as the bathroom person, right? It's like every 5 minutes that you're out chatting, it's like, whoop, bathroom. And then you put on your MP3, back out chatting, gotta go to the bathroom again. It's like, what has that person been eating? But hey, sometimes you gotta do whatever it takes. Let's see. Scrolling through the chat. Yeah, I remember a clip of you trying to record a video on a park while people are trying to walk by. You're looking at your phone. Oh yeah, no, I've had there's so many of those instances where I'm like, oh, people are walking by, I'm like, let me look at my phone, and just kind of waiting to do it and then couldn't do it. Or if I'd speak and then I saw someone walk up, I couldn't talk. It was insane how hard it was for me to really get into a flow talking to a camera, right? Really, really difficult. And that was after a long time of also just being that stifled talking to people, right? It's like, okay, I got pretty good with people now, put on the camera. It was terrible. But I applied the exact same things that I talked about here, where I'm like, I'm not letting this confine me. No, I can do it. I refuse to believe that this is my destiny, to be stifled and shy, right? But it was bad. It was so bad, by the way, to the point where I was an amazing coach. Like I was helping Owen out back in the day. This is like 2010. I was even 9, right? I was a great coach, but I was so bad in front of the camera, I almost got fired. Like I almost was like, hey, maybe this isn't for you, right? Because, you know, we're going to have to use social media and your speaking skills are just so terrible that, you know, we may have to do without you. That's how bad it was. I was terrible. And look at me now. Okay. Something weird about Julien's face. It's possibly the mustachio. Is it the mustachio? Let's see. Someone's like, fake introvert. Right? I mean, this is the other thing too, right? Like, I know for a fact there are going to be some introverted people like, I refuse to believe that you can change. And hey, that's fine, right? You can choose to still remain introverted as well. You know, it's totally cool. But hey, in that case, stop watching videos on how to stop being introverted, right? If you're actually watching this, you're like, I refuse to believe it, then go watch videos that tell you how awesome it is to be introverted and shy. Don't watch a video like this. For me, and it's a choice, you really have to choose, like, does this help me, yes or no? Is this what I want for my life? And if the answer is no, then don't accept it. Don't accept that this is your fate, to be this shy and stifled person. Okay. Since I discovered you, my life has changed. Amazing. Amazing to hear. Now, if you'd like, by the way, more personalized help, go to JulienMentoring.com, book a free call with us, and get more feedback in terms of blind spots that you have right now. Like if you got value from the free videos, book the free call, and more importantly, get the free meditation. Okay, Julien Mentoring, or simply click the link below this video. Someone's like, how do you get into state without drugs and alcohol? By doing exactly what we talked about here, right? And it's also letting go of what's blocking you from just being in state by default, right? For a lot of people, you know, if say they were to do even a live like this, right? Because do take this in. I love these lives. But take the old me or a regular person, plop him in, you know, like a little studio office thing. Boom, now they're sitting in this chair. You can play this game with yourself, right? Wherever you are right now, you're probably watching this, you're probably not talking or talkative. Imagine I were to take you, plop you in the chair here, and I'm like, deliver alive. And you have a couple bullets, right? I do have a couple bullets when I start these, but for the most part, this is just off the cuff, by the way. Like even this little segment here, totally off the cuff. I don't even know what I'm saying. I'm like, I'm now taking them here, right? Totally off the cuff. Now, say I plop you here. Lights are on, it's quiet. If I don't talk right now, quiet. So you're sitting here in silence, and I'm like, okay, you're alive, go. Most people freeze, right? Or as the comment said, right, I need my alcohol and drugs to access my outgoing personality. So if that's you, that's fine. That used to be me. But here's the thing. Number one, resist the urge. Don't give your power away to drugs and alcohol to do that. Number two, instead of being like, oh my gosh, I'm stifled, what do I do? And I'm going to make another video about this, by the way. It's the whole now what, right? I have a problem, now what? I'm stifled, now what? Instead of now what, ask yourself why. Not now what, why? I'm stifled, why? And you'll have the data, right? Oh, fear of what people will think, for example, something you can easily let go of. Right? Oh, fear of running out of the things to say. Oh, et cetera, et cetera. Like fear of being seen because I'm only being this front and I'm scared to put the real me out there. All those things you can easily let go of, but you need to identify them first. Okay, so not now what, why? And if you'd like to learn exactly how, JulienMentoring.com, book a free call. right? Like, how do I get in a state without drugs and alcohol? Definitely book a free call so we can help point you in the right directions and show you what might be holding you back and come up with a game plan and give you a free letting go meditation. Okay, so link below this video, JulienMentoring.com. Get on it. And if you can't get on it, enjoy a sad life giving your power away to drugs and alcohol forever. Same person even comments, why? You're screwed. I'm sorry. You know what? I take back what I said. Do not book a free call. It's beyond you. You will not grasp it. It's like, but wait, why? It's like, that's just, There, every now and then, people, the Horde. It sounds so weird. Again, you got to let me know in the comments if we're going with the Horde or not, but we got to decide on something. Every now and then there's a little sting where I'm like, people are getting dumber, right? And I'm not a big conspiracy person, but there are some theories that back in the day, long time ago, we were actually very smart and then self-destructed and rebuilt. And who knows if we're heading in that direction, but there's definitely a lot of proof of things going downhill human-wise. Aren't there? Okay. Sounds like mustachio rules. Well, thank you. Thank you. Right? If you like the mustache, definitely you can also book a free call and I can give you some mustachio tips. Okay, so we're going to wrap it here. I hope you enjoyed this broadcast. Few things in the comments below, not in the chat. Okay, I'm going to leave this posted. Comment below the video. Two things. Number one, what are we going to call ourselves? Okay, I threw out the Horde. You got to let me know. Are we going with the Horde? I kind of like the Horde, but let me know, right? Who are we? Comment that. And number two, I want you to comment your biggest takeaway from this live stream. This helps me learn a lot more about you, what you resonate with, what your focus, your RAS picks up on. So write that down as well so I can customize upcoming contents to help you best. Okay, and more importantly, make sure you subscribe, turn notifications on. If you don't subscribe, you don't turn notifications on, you ain't in the Horde. And trust me, you want to be in the Horde. Also, if you don't have a mustache, you ain't in the Horde. No, I'm kidding. You can still be in the Horde. Okay, so comment below. Are we the Horde, yes or no? Biggest takeaway. If you also have topic requests, comment that below this video. And of course, go to Julien Mentoring, a free coaching session. Get a free Letting Go MP3. If what you're learning about in these lives on this channel speaks to you, this is really the next step, and it is free. So do so now. Do it while it's hot. And someone's like, free? But can I pay for more than the call? Hey, start with the call. Jump on the call, right? Well, but I'd like to pay more. It's like, get on the call, right? People sometimes say that like, but free, but I actually want to. It's like, just get on the call. Start there, right? Sure, if you want to pay more, great. Start with the call. Start taking action. Usually people are like, I'm just going to wait to pay more is another excuse to do nothing. Jump on the call. No excuse. There really is no excuse. If you can't jump on the call, my advice to you, right, is honestly go to TikTok, go to some dumb clubhouse room and just, distract yourself, right? Like get off the channel for real. If you can't even jump on a free call, that means you're not serious about taking action and it's just entertainment. Go to TikTok, right? Or go to Clubhouse. There's I talked about this on a live, and then we'll wrap on a live that had some technical difficulty, but there was this room in Clubhouse, and I was so proud to share it, and I was so bummed when the live crashed, but I'm going to pull it up. There's this room in Clubhouse, and it was called Whale Moan Room. I don't know if you can see it here. Whale Moan Room, okay? And it's a bunch of people with profile pictures of whales, and there's 150 people in this room, right? A clubhouse room, whales. And the whole gist of it is 150 people, and they're going kind of one by one, and they're saying these one-liners, like really dumb one-liners, right? Like dad joke one-liners. And instead of everyone else in the clubhouse laughing, like a stand-up thing, they would all make whale sounds. Whale moaning sound, like woo, like weird whale. That's my whale sound. Woo, right? Like there'd be 150 people just doing whale sounds, and then the next person would say the one-liner joke and whale sounds, and that was the room, right? People spend their lives doing that. I found it fascinating. That was the craziest thing I've seen all that week. So if you ain't gonna jump on the free call, go to the whale room. Distract yourself. Make some whale sounds. Perhaps success is not for you. And always remember, there can't be winners without losers. So on that note, we're going to wrap it. I read through all the applications, book your free call, take this advice to use, subscribe, click notifications. I know there's a lot, right? Comment below, are we the horde? Comment, biggest takeaway, and, make your favorite whale sound. Until next time.